So this drawing here shows the layout of the existing ceiling joists that are in the garage here, as you can see. It's a little complicated here because the ones on this side are 12 inches on center, the ones on this side are 16 inches on center. I want to have a continuous wall that's running through here, and luckily enough, at one point in the wall here, these two do line up. Actually, multiple points in the wall, but in this location here, so we can build a continuous wall all the way through here and attach the top plate. We can screw it directly into this ceiling joist right here. On this side here, every 12 inches we get a screw in there, and then on this side as well. I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to do this one yet, so it all really depends on the exact layout of the ceiling joist here, so I'm going to have to spend a little time studying that still. Okay, and here we have a side view of the long wall. As you can see, here's the door opening right here. There's the opening for a window. The ceiling's a little bit goofy here in that previous drawing where you see here the two different sets of joists. They're actually two different heights in the ceiling there, so you have to have a little jog right there as that goes through. All the little gray boxes here are where the QuietClips go. So these are spaced 48 inches maximum distance. They want to be 6 inches or so from the ceiling and the floor. And if you can use a staggered pattern like this, which helps isolation in that you don't have such a rigid structure right on top of each other. The astute observer will note that the floor is actually slanted here. It is a garage, so there's a slope to the garage floor. I studied this for a while, and the best way to do this, of whether this should be shimmed up or what the best way to do this, it seemed like the easiest way to do this was basically just to lay the sill plates on the floor with the slope, and then you just have to cut each of the studs individually to the proper height. Makes the door opening here a little bit interesting, but I think that's fine. It drops a little less than half an inch across this opening right here, and that can be accommodated with the threshold under the door, and just cut the door a quarter of an inch or quarter inch to half an inch going across the side here. The inside of the room is going to be carpeted, so we got to raise the inside door a little bit as well, which will help when you open the door as well, since the bottom part of this door is going to be lower than this part of the door. As you swing the door around this way, it would hit on this side over here because the door is lower on that side. But we'll have carpeting there, so that should take care of that. So here's the layout of the other two walls. This wall here is totally straightforward, nothing complicated here. Again, here's the layout of all the QuietClips. This remaining wall here is a little bit goofy because the foundation on the outside of the garage juts out a little bit there, so you have to be able to handle that, but other than that, it's straightforward. Okay, and finally we have here the construction details of all the wall corners and doors and windows, etc. It pays to draw these things out in detail so you know what you're doing before you build it. In actuality, I actually mirror image some of these things as I start to build things based on the layout, but at least you have a good reference here to work with. This again shows the layout of the QuietClips and the hat channel, but this shows much more detail here about how the drywall is laid out, and you can see the drywall here doesn't butt all the way up to the other wall. You leave a quarter-inch gap here and you fill that in with acoustic caulk. And all the little corners here, same thing, you leave a quarter inch everywhere and you fill it all in. The idea is you don't want these pieces of drywall to be firmly attached anywhere, because that creates what they call a short, where the vibration from the drywall goes directly into the wall and then it's going to radiate back out the other side over here. So you want everything to be isolated as well as you can. So this is the outside corner on the top. Here's the outside corner on the bottom. I'll zoom in a little bit here. You can see here is the diagram for the window opening. We call out two different sizes of glass here, 3/8 and 1/2. That's due to the fact that the glass will resonate at a certain frequency based on its thickness and mass. So using two different sizes of glass here will keep them from reinforcing each other, so they'll hopefully cancel each other out a little bit. This is all 1x stock in here. This is a 1x6 ripped to 4.5 inches. I had the lumber company do that for me because I don't have a table saw. If you have a table saw, you can do that yourself, of course. This is a 2x8 right here. And we call out 2¼ inch casing here. And this again shows the drywall coming in with all the acoustic caulk. This is one of those miracles of modern technology here, I guess, that a 2x8 here worked out with just about a 1/16 of an inch clearance on each side here. So we're able to put some acoustic caulk on the casings here, so again they weren't in contact with the drywall directly. So that worked out pretty nice. This is laminated glass here. Again, nice heavy mass, not going to bounce around too much. Here's a diagram of the single door. This is the one over by the central vac. This is a 2x6 now in this case. This is a 1¾ inch fire door, 1x2 stock to act as the door stops. The same casings over here that were called out in the window diagram. And over here we have the diagram for the double door. So this construction's the same thing that we saw for the window. And here we have again 1¾ inch fire doors. The hinges are offset, so one door opens up one way, one door opens up the other way. We're using the 2¾ inch back set. This is the deeper back set of the two when you put the door hardware in here, just to give yourself as much clearance as you can in case you're putting isolation, gaskets, and things like that. You want to leave yourself some room. This is a standard 1x4 here for the door stop. And then on the bottom here, on each side, we have door saddles or thresholds that go underneath the door. And then here you can see the opposite way. The hinge is on this side down here. You want to leave a 1/8 inch gap everywhere around the doors here. The door is not drawn beveled here, but it is actually beveled to allow the door to open more easily. And this is standard stuff here. So again, the 2x8, when you get up to that dimension, it's actually 7¼ inches, not 8 inches. And you can see that works out absolutely perfectly for this door.